Are we live? Hey, is this working? Hold on, guys. How's it going? What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Play It Painted Live. Hang on one second here while I fix the focus on the camera. It's kind of atrocious right now. So let's go ahead and do that. And yeah, we'll get to it. So I'm just testing out the live feature on YouTube. It's been a while since I've used the YouTube AI, and in fact, it's been a while since we've done really anything on YouTube. Oh, look, there we go. It's not bad. Whoa. So that's, let me see if I can get this to sit properly. There we go. Sort of, that's what we're working on. It just seems awful dark. It might just be the, it might just be what we're dealing with here. But yeah, anyways, hopefully this is working out okay. If not, I don't know. We'll just figure it out. So anyways, let me also, I'm going to bring our camera in a little bit. Why isn't my camera responding? Maybe you have to do it this way. Huh, can't. How weird. Huh. Well, that works a little bit, but as far as coming in, like going in and coming out, it's not really. Oh, that's because I'm in as close as I'll get. Well, that's sad. That's as close as I get. Oh well. Anyway, the other thing I want to do is let's see if I can get this. If I could share this stream on a Facebook. Let's see. So just a minute here while we get things set up. Hope you guys are having a good Sunday evening. Maybe if I pull up YouTube here and if it shows my live stream, there we go. Then I can just share that. Okay. So let me go ahead and copy that link. And I'm going to post it in the IDIC Beer group. And let's see who we have. Okay. Okay. Here we go. And then I'm also going to go to, what's it called? DMPG? DPMG? PMG? No? Is it Band of, there it is, Band of Brothers. Let's post that in there too. And let's see who shows up. I mean, this is a weird hour. Painting live. Okay. There, we went ahead and shared that. That's about as far as I'm gonna go. And let's go ahead and, man, music is not great tonight. But anyways, we have a lot of stuff to share here. So anyways, here's what we're working on. We're working on the farmers. Last night I did a bunch of work on Twitch. You can see I'm going with like an orange. I'm going to go with like an orange and black color scheme. which is cool. The only issue here is that, yeah, it's a little too crimson right now. So I need an orange, but I don't want a bright orange. That's kind of the issue. I don't want a bright orange. I just want a warm orange. And I'm afraid if I come in with too much yellow, that will also look kind of bad. So I got to find the right color here to use. Heavy gold brown might not be a terrible one. I'm pretty sure I've got a better orange I can use here. Not even necessarily an orange, but like a really, really sunny yellow would work too. Here we go. Ooh, man, my paint cabinet thing is falling apart here. So if you're just joining us, welcome to Play It Painted Live. Let us know what you're painting, what you should be painting. We're going to go in with this fiery orange fire here. Oh, that was way more than I needed. And we're gonna do a light dry brush. That's kind of the point, right? We want to do a light dry brush and work our way up to the final color that we're hoping to get. But this should restore some of that bright orange color without going too loud, I hope. That's the hope. We'll find out. Oh yeah, that's good. And so, geez, I'm gonna have to manually get us in closer. There we go. There we go. That's better. Let's just get us in a little bit closer. That's better. Okay. Ha. You saw that. That's high production value for you here on YouTube. Nothing but the best for my old YouTube friends. For those of you who are wondering, who might have actually been a fan of the show, watching the old streams from back in the day, or maybe just catching up to what this channel is about and wondering, why did I stop streaming? Fact is, I did not stop streaming. I actually went ahead and moved operation over to Twitch. So really, most of my streaming and online live activity anyway, is over on Twitch. So you can check me out on Twitch if you are really enjoying live stream, you want to see more live stream content, that's where I would go. Okay, so again, we're going to go in with this fiery orange, and this is going to restore some of that orange color that we want without overdoing it. I don't want to. You can see that this simple act here is kind of warming everything up. It's restoring that color that we like. Side note: I do have to paint Harrow's feet. He's got a little bit of a problem with shoes. Harrow is not wearing a lot of shoes right now, so okay. Now, hey, what's up, Blade Wolf? Welcome to the feed. You are indeed alive, sir. Let me go ahead and confirm that for you. Blade Wolf found alive. Welcome to the feed. Hope you're having a good Sunday evening. As you can see, we're still working on the farmers. Normally I don't spend this much time on a single project, but this is a me project, and I am kind of just messing around, honestly. I'm doing good. Hope you're doing good. Had an okay weekend. Wish I could have played more Guild Ball, if I'm being honest with you, but hey, that's fine. You can't win them all, right? So I'm really liking that. I'm really liking that effect of the orange. So it's a warm orange without being a completely overpowering orange. And then you can see that here on Wendell as well. Just burned out, huh? I know the feeling. I'm not looking forward to starting another week of work tomorrow, and then and actually, tomorrow is my wife's first day back at work. So the school year is starting up, so she's going to be teaching high school again starting tomorrow, and that's kind of a bummer. Feel bad for the little guys. The little guys are going to be a little more upset about that than I am. They're going to miss their mom as she goes back to work, but it's a good thing. It's good that she admitted as much to me today that she's a little, somewhat happy to be going back because she's looking forward to picking up again the whole teaching thing and getting ready for another school year. The whole thought of teaching, especially high school, sounds like the worst thing ever. Like, I don't think I would ever. What is up with this song just constantly ending up in this playlist? It needs to. Is there a way to get it off the playlist? Maybe I need to. I don't know how to get this song. How do I get this song off the playlist? No, you can't. It's really terrible. It's a really terrible song, and I regret ever putting it on the playlist. It's terrible. Okay. Anyways, are you painting anything tonight, or you came to chill, relax? I know you've been busy with wedding planning and all that good business. Okay. So you can see here's Jackstraw, one of the cooler looking models here. And we're going to get some orange down on him. The main question for me is, how sharp do I want these highlights to be? Should I go one step further and go up to like a sharp yellow to kind of punch these up a little bit more? Hey, what's up, Hoser? Welcome to the feed. Should I do that, or am I good with this already fairly warm orange I've got going on here? I'm pretty happy with that, but it may not pop as much. I might be able to get one better layer in there of like a more of a truer yellow that would help kind of define this whole thing. Right? That might actually help with like punch it up a little bit more than it's been. But you can see, I mean, it's a nice warm orange though. So I think I can do the yellow as long as I don't overdo the yellow, I mean, I'd have to come in with a really, really light yellow dry brush and just get the edges there. I think we can. Right? Yes, we can. Why not? I just need a super, I need either a light yellow or I need an off-white, to be honest with you. By the way, I don't know if you guys, hopefully you guys cannot hear the music that I've got playing. The unfortunate side effect to streaming on YouTube is, unfortunately, you can't partake of the city pop and the future funk with me. I know a lot of you guys do actually like the future funk that I play. Good. I know you guys do like it, but while we're on YouTube, it's a no-go. YouTube does not like it when we have fun. YouTube is looking for a reason. They're looking for a reason to get rid of people like me. Damn troublemakers and whatnot. Just kidding. Okay. So I need like an ice white. Like I've got this. This is not bad, actually. It's not bad. It might work. That's all I gotta say. It might work. As long as it kind of, like, it might sort of kind of work. That's all we're gonna do. I might have to use a different dry brush though. I'm gonna use a flatter one to give myself a little more control. So I'm gonna use this guy. I only use makeup brushes for my dry brushes. So, and this guy's gonna should give me a little bit more control here, because you don't want to overdo. The minute you just put the orange down, the last thing you want to do is to kill all your orange with too much yellow, right? So really lightly, I'm trying to catch the leading edge of that sickle there. Kind of a brighter color. Yeah, it looks like that's gonna work out. Looks like that's okay. Yeah. So nice and quiet there. So once again, if you're just joining us, welcome to Play It Painted Live. Let us know what you're painting or what you should be painting. Tonight we're working on some Guild Ball farmers. Farmers, man. I'll be honest with you, I have no interest in this team. Really none. None other than yeah, I'm back on the YouTubes. That's right. What's up, man? How's it going, Andrew? Yeah, I figure, I need more YouTube content. Been missing the YouTube's action, and I know that there are certain people that that like to watch the YouTube feed that may not be on Twitch, watching me on Twitch. And besides, I got to come back. Got to come back and do these. I promised I would. I promised I would come back every now and then, in addition to doing edited videos for YouTube. And hopefully you guys are enjoying the Guild Ball games I've been posting. But YouTube is still kind of my jam. It pisses me off, some of the crap they engage in pisses me off, but you know what I'm saying. I still like YouTube. I was like, man, I haven't done. I still owe you guys one more match report, and that is Church versus Union. It's a game that Aaron and I played a couple of weeks ago, actually, and I just haven't gotten around to finish recording the commentary on it. Because I think, and the weird part is because it was such a simple game. It was such a simple game that we played that I'm like, do I need to record commentary on this? Say what's up, Greenleaf. What is up, Adam Main? Welcome to the feed. Here's one of the guys that has not followed me over to Twitch. I come over just for you, baby. I came for you just so we can hang out and you can tell me Canadian things about weird Canadian customs and tell me of your lands and all this good stuff. Wind, fire, all that good thing. You tell me that. What's going on, man? So we're painting up some farmers. Like I said, I'm waiting for S4 so I can drop that Brewer's Tactics vid. Yeah, you are bathing in maple syrup, man. That's, and that's all the detail we need to know, Adam. We're just going to leave it there, man. Leave the rest to our imaginations of your Canadianness. Canadianness? I think it's Canadianness. Yeah. So here's the deal, man. Like, I went like nearly 2 weeks, man. I went nearly 2 weeks without painting a. Well, not exactly. Like, I went through and I was like, oh, well, if I don't have any Guild Ball minis to paint because I'm waiting on the damn Faithful box, right? I'm like, I'll make terrain. So what did we? And I still need to put a couple things on this, but We made fast ground. We made rough ground. You guys remember this? Like made rough ground. We made fast ground. I was like, damn it. I made goals for all my teams. Here's a Blackheart goal. I was sad, man. It was a sad time. And I was like, damn it. I'm just running out of shit to paint. And, and then Leon's girlfriend's Falconer's goal got vandalized, and I had to touch up the Falconer's goal. And then it was like I just broke the other day. I just broke, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna buy a Farmer's Guild, and I'm gonna paint a Farmer's Guild, and it's gonna be a weekend project for me. And we're not, it's gonna be no shame. We're just, hey, you just had to get by. Just this, I did this for you. I did this for you, Steamforge. What's up, Troy? Welcome to the feed, man. Hope you're doing well tonight. So I broke, man. I failed my willpower check, and I bought this set. And I'm like, okay, because I gotta paint something over the weekend. I was like, I gotta do something, man. I gotta do something. So I bought this set, and I'm like, I'm just gonna do this like, I'm gonna do it like Halloween theme, right? I'm gonna do this like, give them like real warm orange. Where'd all my chat go? What happened there? What's all that about? It all disappeared. Someone say something. Why did my chat disappear? What's going on? Why does it not like me? There it is. Doing okay. Farms look cool. Kind of scarecrow. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm going for, man. I'm going for their colors are kind of boring, and I wanted to liven them up a little bit. So I'm going with this like heavy. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I reset the little chat window thing. YouTube trying to do YouTube things to me. And I'm not sure how I feel about these sculpts. I didn't care for them too much when I first painted them, especially this one here. I didn't really like Bushel. I was like, she's a really kind of cute mini. I wish they had done a little more with the sculpt, but she's not bad. She's grown on me. She looks cool, kind of cool. So as long as you get the orange, the whole plan on how these guys are going to work is you got to get the orange correct. Once you get the orange correct, the rest of this isn't too bad. It's just because it's Halloween themed. So the other major color is black. So it's not going to be that hard once we do this. It looks like that yellow was absolutely perfect to give me that. See how that's kind of, it's like warm orange and it's screaming at you without being like, without being safety orange. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I wanted. I wanted a warm autumnal orange without it looking like, OSHA approved orange. Or like I didn't want them to look like inmates either. And like, how do you do that without it looking too brown? And so it's actually been kind of a complicated road to get here, but the gist of it is it's a brown undercoat that gets toned up to scarlet, and then the scarlet is applied as a glaze, and then you come in and knock out this. You knock out a fiery orange dry brush and a very fine golden yellow dry brush. Yeah, I got the LE Tater. If you're gonna do it right. That's what I say, right? You gotta do that. Because it's gonna be, Tater and Honor are gonna be in this together. But I don't know. Honor looks so bad. She's such a the model is cool. Don't get me wrong, the model's cool, and and you know how I'm loyal to my girl, right? I'm loyal to Honor, but her rules look horrible. she could be the worst. She could be the single worst model in Guild Ball right now. Okay. If you're talking about attack 5, 3/3 influence, 5-inch threat range, sorry, 7-inch threat range, if you actually are going to spend the money to charge, spend the influence to charge with such a character, like, what's the point, man? She looks abysmally bad in her rules. She looks terrible. Well, we'll find out. It's all about that legendary swing play, but yeah, I mean, yeah, she's got one moment in the game where she's slightly okay. That's kind of maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but that's how I feel about it. Like, man, I'm like trying to figure out, is she better than Granite? Is she better than Granite? I don't know. I don't know. Debate. Is Vet Honor better than Granite? Because I'm looking at Granite going, hey, at least that tar pit is sort of useful. But, Granite's a whole 6-inch threat range. She's a 4-6 threat range. So she's never really involved in the game. She gets to walk towards, people that made her mad and whatnot. But come on now. I'm just not impressed, yo. Not impressed. Okay. So now let's get some white dry brush in. So seriously, like, what are you guys looking forward to, man? Because there's a lot of games. Obviously, Gen Con just wrapped up. A lot of people are hype over. Maybe they're hype over Guild Ball Season 4. If you guys were on Twitch last night, you heard my superior salt, my superior strategy that was salt. I gave myself extra influence in everything so I could double activate and basically put Ninja Division on blast over the shit that they're pulling. Because I'm sorry, I'm done. I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of. They talked all this mess going into Gen Con, right? Ninja Division. Hey, version 2 is coming out, and we'll see you at Gen Con. We'll show you all this stuff at Gen Con. And then they put all this other shit too, like, you can buy this at Gen Con, and this limited edition STE thing is also at Gen Con. And then Gen Con comes out, and you got nothing, man. They, my friend went to the booth. He's like, hey, man, I'm going to Gen Con. Really nice for anyone to offer to Ninja Shop for you, right? Ha, it's also a pun, but you know what I mean? Like, usually there's always those, if people find out, like, you're going to go to a con, you're going to go to Gen Con, you're going to go to Adepticon, whatever. They're like, hey, man, can you stand in this line and pick up this limited edition bullshit for me? And I'm like, no, man, I got to go live my life. I don't, because I'm a mean person, right? So, he offered, like, hey, man, he's like, hey, I'm going to be at Gen Con. Do you want me to pick up anything for you? And I was like, yeah, just go to the Ninja Division booth and buy. They're supposed to have that limited Cordelia model there for Arcade 2.0. Pick that up for me. I want that. That's cool, right? It would be my first arcade. Hey, what's up, Frank Espinoza? I'm like, whatever, but buy that for me, because I figured that was okay, because it's not like he's gonna spend 9 hours in a Ninja Division line. All right, they don't. I mean, they've done enough brand damage as it is. They're not gonna have too many people hanging out waiting for their shit. But I thought it would be cool, right? Just go in there. They said they were going to sell it. They posted post after post of, like, you guys can't wait. Here comes Ninja Division at Gen Con. We're going to show you what we got and all this other shit. And, sure enough, he gets there and he's like, oh, they're not selling any of the exclusive stuff that was Gen Con exclusive. I was like, word? You're not selling any. This is Gen Con. Every half decent company and their mom puts out a Gen Con exclusive, which you did, Ninja. You did say you had you had Gen Con exclusives, you had the pugilist and all this and whatnot, and then you didn't put it out. They couldn't even. They. I was like, kind of joking with my friend. I'm like, why are they even there? And I mean that. Why were they even there? If they were putting out the same shit you could buy, well, you actually you can't buy it on their store right now because they tore their store down. So they tore their store down, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna do some show exclusives. Wasn't even no show exclusives. Like what? Honestly, what the hell? Why were they there? Why bother? What what was the point of that? I don't know. You guys tell me if I'm overreacting, but that seems really stupid. So he did end up buying one thing for me because he's cool. Hey, welcome back, Blade Wolf. He picked up a Wonder Whammons for Guild Ball for the Falconers, and I'm not even gonna play. I'm not even intending on playing the Falconers, but it's cool. I wanted to paint a Wonder Whammon miniature, and it's cool. Maybe I'll prize it out or sell it to somebody, something like that, right? But seriously, what is up with that? Why was that? Like, how you even? I don't know. I can't even finish a sentence complaining about this shit. I can't be bothered. Like, I can't be bothered. Yeah, buttload of stuff. Nice. So Troy, you went to were you there at Gen Con this year? Actually, let me just ask anybody in the chat right now. Did anybody in the chat go to Gen Con? What was their impression of it? That's just a joke, though, dude. Like, what? We get mad at companies all the time because companies let us down and shit all the time. There was some salt over the Falconers kit. There were not the sculpts, or people, they were saying the sculpts weren't up to spec and whatever. And I gotta respect that. I've seen some of the pictures, and I'm like, yeah, I don't disagree with you, man. That sculpt could be better, right? So there's stuff like that going on. But hell, at least they put miniatures out. You know what I mean? At least they put miniatures out. At least they sold something. You could go to their booth and buy something. You're not to spec. You're not you to spec. It's true. That's how Asian I am. I'm so Asian I disappoint myself. It's that self-loathing. Why you not sell anything at Gen Con, Octave? Oh man. That's you're next level Asian when you can be disappointed in yourself. Yeah, when you can be judgmental uncle to yourself. Why you not put out Gen Con exclusive, Octave? Oh man. It happens. Yeah. I don't know, man. I wouldn't put it down to a specific company or a set of companies, though. There's a lot of just salt in the air. I don't know. Maybe it's because the kids are all going back to school. Maybe it's because summer is over or summer's ending. You guys tell me. It does seem like there's an enormous amount of salt in the air, and I'm the kind of person, I basically thrive off of salt, right? I need people complaining, and most of all, I need me complaining to feel healthy. I need to complain and feel, I feel alive when I can complain about shit. It's good. Y'all salty because Navigator's coming soon? Hey, I have been saying this to people. I know I said this to you, Blade Wolf. Like, I have never seriously played fish nor ever showed any interest in playing fish. But navigators, which are essentially extremely shitty fish, I'm in, man. Like, I'm down with that. Like, that sounds like something I can get behind. Shitty fish, like not fish that are like not good at being fish. I'm kind of down for that. I kind of want that to be a thing for me. Not only that though, like full disclosure, like Pirate Hat Angel, I need that in my life. You guys got to understand, like I need that shit in my life. Hey, what's up, Nelson? Welcome to the feed, man. I saw that miniature. I'm like, damn it, I do not like fish, but I do love that miniature, and that's got to be a thing. So, I could either bank on someone hiring me to paint their shit for them, but nah, man. I'll play that. I'll play it for a week. That's my motto, right? I'll play it for a week. We'll see how it goes. You think the navigators are awesome? I think the people see the stuff that navigators can do, and it's all, to me, it screams big play, big play, big play, big play, right? And competitive minded people hate the big play because the big play is really risky. You need a lot of shit in place in order to make it work. So a lot of people look at that and they see the big play and they're like, okay, I don't want that. That's not impressive. I can do it more reliably with, like, say a more fundamentals focused team, like Masons, for example, are more fundamentals team. You can do exciting plays with Masons, particularly if you're running kickoff Masons. There's a lot of fun stuff you could do with honor and harmony, stuff like that. But the gist of Masons, when you're playing Masons for that that reliable moments two on their two, for their good solid stat lines and that kind of stuff, you're getting rewarded for taking the safe bet, right? For playing the safer, choosing the safer route and playing the safer game with them. So there's that aspect to it. But I still love the big play. You know what I mean? Especially for me, like my whole approach to Guild Ball is like there are teams that I really want to be good with. So when I'm playing a good, like a serious game of, hey, what's up, Congo? Welcome to the feed. Yeah, when I'm playing like a serious game of Guild Ball, I want to be able to. I want to have my team that I'm super comfortable with and that I feel like I should be playing well, right? Obviously, for me, that's my Masons team. However, this past few weeks here, telling you, like, vet calculus is she's kind of changed my tune. And like, you guys were here, especially Andrew and Blade Wolf and some of the other people that have been on this like Guild Ball journey with me since the start of season 3, where it was like, I'm gonna play Alchemist again this season, and it was still kind of a joke, right? It was still kind of, yeah, but I'm gonna play Midas. We know that Smoke is good, but I'm gonna play Midas post nerf, and we're gonna have some fun, and they're gonna be kind of my funny JV squad, right? That's kind of how they started. That's kind of how the Alchemists started with me in season 3, and they were kind of a joke. They were, they were not. We didn't really take them seriously. Yeah, Midas would get on and he'd walk people off the board and that kind of thing, but it. I was playing mostly the starter set, and it wasn't great. Like, it was okay. I won a few games here and there, but it wasn't great. And and I kind of went through another lull in the season, like, hey, I might sell them again or whatever. And then blacksmiths happened. That was kind of an accident. Jose showed me a blacksmith set on sale for alt bolt, and I'm like, oh, that would be fun. Yeah, yeah. That's all I was doing with that team, is just walking people off the board with Midas. But that's all it was. It was just sort of like for kitsch factor. and then uh, you know, took a bit of a deep dive into blacksmiths, um, and learned more about them. And you know, they were still kind of a JV squad for me. It was mostly Masons and Union for me, right? It was mostly like, oh yeah, yeah, like they're fun. This team is fun, but they'll never be Blackheart for me, right? They'll never be Honor for me. Um, and then, and then, and then that's when Vet Calculus came into my life, and she changed my whole tune on that shit. Like Vet Calculus came in and said, wait, 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 wait. Hey, get this, Octave, get this. Do you want Flint, who removes conditions? And I was like, fuck yes, I want Flint, who removes conditions. and, and that became the thing, right? When we saw Vet Chisel, when Vet Chisel was leaked, we were like, oh shit, it's going to be Masons for me. Here he comes, coming back. We're playing Masons, and Vet Chisel is super good. Vet Chisel is really, really good. Nobody disputes that. She's a good addition to the team. She's a good player. She's right. She's what you expect from Masons. Solid. Solid is the better word. Masons they're a good team, but more accurately, they're a solid team. They have a solid roster. They get all the way till you get down to the bottom, which is Chisel, Chisel, and Granite are down at the bottom of Masons, right? And then here comes Vet Calculus, and she has a super underwhelming playbook. The tackle on one is fantastic, but I'm like, Mercury's got that. The tackle, what she have, like a tackle dodge on the end of that, which is pretty nice. It's no alloy tackle double dodge, don't get me wrong, but it's still pretty good. So then you got that. Then you got to consider. Then you got sticky bombs, and you're like, sticky bombs is not. It's all right. It's okay. I don't know that I'm paying 2 influence for that shit every turn, and I don't know that Sticky Bomb is nearly a replacement for Ocalc with blind and you know her poison AOE, which are both of which are extremely useful. So all of that's underwhelming until you flip that card over, right? And you flip that card over, and life is different for you. Life has changed for you once you flip that shit over, and you're like, wait, spillage. And the first time I read it, I was like, that's a weird ability. And then, you know, and I'm like, that forces me to be in the middle of a bunch of people, and you know, 4-1 and like 14 boxes. That's not so great, right? So, and then extraction happens, and you're like, oh shit, now we're talking. Extraction is the real deal. Then you start thinking about spillage and extraction. So kick a ball, spillage. Then you can extract your way out of that situation. So it's a built-in get into jail, get out of jail, right? Not only that, it's just extraction has so many uses to it. And then you're looking at a 3-8 kick. You're looking suddenly the playbook fucking opens, right? Because you're like you're looking at that 3-8 kick, you're looking at extraction, then Venom becomes good. Characters like Venom and Crucible that can pick up conditions on their own. That guarantees that you will get your extraction. It guarantees you will get what you want. And, you know, and suddenly it's all starting to open up, and you're starting to see that playbook become a reality for you. Right? Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome to see that. Where the hell is my other paintbrush? VCalc's card is a girl with a flat chest, but damn, she got that pretty. That's actually pretty pretty good analogy considering the front of the card is so unimpressive and the back of the card is just sheer magic. No, the thing, like she's probably not going to end up on a smoke team, and I don't think she was ever really designed to be on a smoke team. And it's nice because it kind of gives it does what I hate about Alchemist this season, but it does it right. My main complaint about Alchemist is that looking at their roster, it seems like Midas has players and Smoke has players. And occasionally you might have a model that can play for both, but that's kind of how it feels. It kind of like that's a Midas player, that's a Smoke player. Especially when you look at the mascots, you're like, oh, that's Midas's mascot, that's Smoke's mascot. But in this case, you have a calculus. I'm sorry. You have a Smoke calculus, and then you have a Midas calculus, and that's pretty awesome. Okay, so now we're gonna. I guess we'll just. Yeah. Well. But yeah. So what VCalc did for me was she just guaranteed that I'm keeping my Alchemists into season 4, which is unheard of because I always previously I've always sold my Alchemist team before the end of the season, right? For the first 3 seasons, that's what I did. I would buy an Alchemist team every season, play it for a bit, and then decide to sell it because I never really liked what they did with Midas specifically. I wanted to play Midas. That's when that was like Alchemists were one of the first guilds I was drawn to when I started playing Guild Ball. In fact, the first 2 guilds I bought were Masons and Alchemists. And they were just going to be in like my 1 and 2 guild. But I did not like how Alchemists played in the first 3 seasons. I would play them and then specifically Midas and then decide not to play them. You're painting your other detective as O2. Oh, you have another Kingdom Death detective? Is that what you're referring to, Congo? That's cool. Okay. So once I put this black in here, it should give you some idea of where I plan on going with this scheme. Because it's going to be real simple. Just you can see how it's extremely simple. And it gives you that Halloween theme, right? You get that basically an orange and black theme. Now Bushel she is a striker that I've always been interested in. She's one of the few pieces on the farmers that I'm actually interested in. She doesn't, a lot of people say she's not competitive. She doesn't make the team, and I understand why. She's a takeout liability on a team that is notoriously hard to burn down with raw damage. They just handle that very well. Very easy to proc plays off the farmers because of their low defense, but it's hard to actually burn down their players because of all their health tracks and their regeneration, their ability to move conditions around and ignore them in some cases. You're out. All right. Thanks, Andrew, for popping in, man. Talk to you later. Hey, we'll get in a game as soon as your schedule clears up, dude. We got to do it. We got to do it, man. Plus, we'll have new shit to play. So we'll get together in game. Have a good one, dude. But yeah. So farmers are like they don't even really fit my main play style, really. but I do really like her. I do like her abilities. I think they're cool. So, what else needs to be black on her? Maybe just a couple of these. Maybe just some of the detail on her overalls could be. But yeah, I think these are going to look cool with the little bit of the, that this sort of yellow and black color scheme. All right. The other thought I had before I started painting these is that maybe I would give them like a denim appearance. Well, yeah, that's what we're going for right there. It's really simple, as you can see. Very, very simple color scheme. And then you got Tater here, who's basically Ted McGinley. And so basically what I'm doing is any part that is supposed to be white on the studio art is going to be black instead, right? So I'm gonna paint Tater's shirt here mostly black, and it's gonna that'll give this some really nice contrast against the rest of his outfit. Welcome back, Blade Wolf. So we're gonna on blacksmiths. I hear you, dude. Also, Tater is gotta be one of my favorite farmers. And why wouldn't he be? He's awesome. His rules are awesome. He's a great missile / beat stick model. Incredibly dangerous model with his counter charge and mow down abilities. He's a great model that you want to decide to play if you're playing farmers. But yeah, again, another really, really simple. Just like keeping the color scheme simple. Millstone, you like them buff whammons? That is a really cool model, Millstone. But yeah, my plan is to play, not really play a competitive, the most competitive farmer list, but I want to play a fun farmer list. Again, me being such a fan of the 2-2 type game, sadly, what that means is I'm dropping, and you guys can freak out if you want, but I am dropping Wendell from this list. I'm dropping Wendell in favor of Tater, but I'm not 100% sold on that thought yet. You know what I mean? I might actually drop Jackstraw for Tater, and that would give me a crazy beatdown crew. That's more of a 4-1 lineup, if you ask me. If you do that, but maybe you can get a couple of goals if you get a goal. If you get a goal with Tater also, right? If you can get a goal with Tater and Bushel and Jack, and you don't need Jackstraw, that's great. But the problem, one of the reasons why I don't want to drop Jackstraw is because even if you're not really using his goal scoring ability, his crop dusting ability is just super useful for the whole team. So why wouldn't you? And then again, it gives you another option. The one issue though, with Jackstraw and Bushel, your damage playbooks are very limited. So that's something to be aware of too. I like my metal millstone where she is on top of millstone. But yeah, that's kind of the plan, is to play this lineup and then play around with the two flex spots are going to be Jackstraw and Wendell, and then deciding what do I want in the game. Do I want another goal threat with more harvest markers, or do I want another strong beatdown capacity? Now the one cool trade-off though is you're still 13 influence if you don't take Wendell. A 13 influence farmers team can be quite nice. You have to be more deliberate with your harvest markers, in order to get your counter charge, in order to get the stuff to work. But you have more influence to play with, so that's good. More influence to power your abilities. I still want to try to put honor in this team, but I know it's bad. I know that's going to be a bad thing. I have no I really have no confidence in honor and honor's ability to hold a spot on this team. I just don't think she's good enough. I think the vet honor rules are just bad. So there's that. Oh, you guys are missing Japanese singer Kermit right now. Makes me a little sad. Okay, so this orange is popping exactly the way I want it to. So I'm pretty damn stoked on that. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out what else needs to be black. Not much. I mean, I could do this whole top part black, and then just kind of leave the the skeletal cage underneath that to look the way it does. But yeah, I think it's okay. Feel like they added vet honor just to add her. I feel like they added her just to kind of keep a model in the fluff, right? To keep the character in the fluff. And maybe the idea is eventually they might do a season to honor where she has some redemption and she actually can still play the game of Guild Ball. Oh, right? Like maybe she plays with the farmers long enough and they give her a rake and she becomes melee 2, and that way her 4/6 move isn't so bad. Maybe she gets tactical advice peck or something so she can go up to 5 and kind of be like a Mercury type character where where that's where you can and do want to put 5 on him occasionally. By the way, that's pretty dope if you can pull that off. Looks like he has a glove here. Because believe it or not, I used to think it was so dumb that you could put 5 influence on Mercury. 5 influence on Mercury is bad effing ass, man. Because if you play him like Burnish on the blacksmiths, you got a lot of damage. You got a lot of burninate the land with Mercury there. And then the part that people forget with Mercury is, okay, he's only TAC 4, but he only has a 4 playbook. And he's got a momentous 3 damage on the end of that playbook. Like, that's no joke, man. You can treat him like a mascot and stack him up, load him up for a crazy, crazy charge. And he goes in there and he's doing, I've actually got him to do, I got him to do 10 damage on a charge plus burning. That's some Dragon Punch shit, man. That's pretty good. Honor is a place starter for Wendell, right? Because of the ability to place a harvest marker and then move it. Not sure I follow. Never played this team before, by the way, so you're gonna have to spell it out for me. Pretty much. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's cool, but Wendell is cool, but he's not really like the main part of the plan as I see it, how I want to play them. I get that he's a really strong character, and he probably will be in my lineup if I play them enough. But initially, I'm really going to kind of be playing around Tater. I'm really going to be playing mainly around Tater, Harrow here, and Bushel, and Grange, obviously. Things are scatter and it's within 4 inches of you, you're setting up Whittle for the beatdown, set up on a nuisance model. I mean, I don't doubt what you're saying. I'm going to have to learn it. Like, I'm going to have to experience that firsthand, like play around with it and make that work for me. So I definitely appreciate the advice there, because hell, I'm definitely going to need help once I start this team. The other thing I will say, though, is I was never really intending on playing farmers. They just never, sadly, they never really fit my playstyle. I like having good thread extension, and that's one thing they don't really have too much of. Right? They kind of want to clump up, and they don't have the deepest threat ranges. Farmers is kind as a play safe army. I can kind of see that. They have their playbooks aren't terribly different from Mason playbooks. Just access to knockdown lower, and you're trading out some of the better low momentous damage results that that Masons are capable of. All right. So if you're just joining us, welcome to Play It Painted Live. Let us know what you're painting or what you should be painting. Tonight we're working on Farmers, the Farmers Guild for Guild Ball. Admit, I'm a bit surprised on how my fiance plays them because she has done some insane shit with them. Huh? That's cool. Yeah, I don't really have high hopes on what I can actually accomplish with this guild. They just don't seem to play in that area I want to play in. They're a bit more takeout oriented than I would prefer to play. Are you gonna run? I'm running Grange for sure. I've never really been interested in Thresher. I don't think the model's very good, and I don't know. His playstyle seems a little more straightforward than I would care to play. You know, Thresher feels more like a Season 2 captain. Season 2 captains are more, they're more kind of super solos. He's got a chicken at his feet. Grange and Harrow with Millstone. No, it's again. I'm not gonna pick up the second box at all. You know, I'm just gonna play. I'm just browsing. Not really. Honestly, I'm not really playing this team. Just playing. Here's some models I wanted to paint, and let's put them on the board and see if we like it. That's basically the plan. I like Grange's pruning shears. Also quite cool. What? Yeah, I'm not playing Millstone. I know. Millstone is amazing. Trust me, I know that. I've played against Millstone many, many times. Not to mention Fallow. I really like Fallow too. But I'm only going to get that box if I play these and I feel like I've had enough fun with them to really look at actually playing the team. You know what I mean? This is almost just sort of for me, this is almost more of just like a test run. Am I going to like this team or not? Potatoes is amazing. Hey, what's up, Andy? Yep. Welcome to the feed. So just the tip, yes. Yes, sir. That's exactly what we're talking about. Just the tip. We're not planning on doing any actual like deep dive type stuff with the farmers here. It was almost out of loyalty to honor that I was like, I will play farmers at one point. Like I will play them, but question is, do they am I gonna play them to the point where they're gonna be like one of the teams I regularly reach for when someone wants a game with me? And right now I'd have to say the answer is no. I don't see that happening really at all. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of a team that sits in my bag most of the time, and then someone says, "Hey, I want to play," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm bored of playing all my other shit. I'll break out these guys." Okay, Tater needs a little bit more color in him, so we're gonna do right just to break up that orange a bit. It's a little too much orange there. So, anyways, um, yeah. So we got this to look forward to. I got a bunch of this stuff coming in, hopefully this week, and then I don't know what else. I have some I have that samurai robot board game that I could paint if push came to shove. Like if I needed to continue painting stuff, I have that. I still have some Kingdom Death stuff to paint. You know, so I got stuff to do, but I was getting tired of not having Guild Ball miniatures to paint specifically. So I finally just cracked and said, "Fine, we're just gonna do it." Okay, that's not bad. That breaks it up a little bit more. Way in the future, I'm looking forward to get the Chef's Guild. Oh, thanks, Andy. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'm going for like I said, I'm going for like a Halloween type theme on these. And it's so easy once you actually get the orange where you want it. You put the black in, and the black really just kind of sets it off, like really makes that orange come through. So right now, the song, just to get it right anyway. Yeah, you struggle. I I don't struggle with orange, but there's so many different ways to do orange that's the fun part, is trying to figure out. Like I did orange like last month when you saw some of you guys saw it anyway, when I was working on my when I was working on those infinity commissions. You guys saw like how you do orange in a more like sci-fi orange where it's a lot brighter, and you have like the angles and stuff on Infinity Armor to uh, to manipulate and make it look really kind of cartoony. And that's a really fun type of orange to do. This is a very different orange here. This is yeah, I'm still gonna do orange, but this is more like this needs to look worn. It needs to look textured because it's like orange leather, it's orange clothing. And so the difference from that orange to this orange is quite a bit, and how you get there is very different. This starts off with a brown base, whereas that orange I was doing on Infinity, that was starting off with a very red base. And then the crazy part is when you do color schemes like this, which are fairly like they're slightly like one of a kind in terms of getting the scheme right, then you get more models for it, and you're like, oh shit, how do I make them match up? Because I blend too much, and I don't take notes on how I derive the color, like what exact ratio I used, and so I screw shit up all the time. It's painting my Yujing orange. Yeah, I painted a commission that was kind of Yujing and some JSA stuff. So I got to do some white and red as well. So these are getting pretty close to tabletop ready. I will most likely spend another evening just doing the finishing touches on these and highlighting them, doing the final highlights and whatnot, making sure the bases match. But you can see this is kind of what we're going for here. Is that? Can't actually tell where that shirt, where the rips of the shirt end, where the actual shirt ends. I think that's right. I think that's right. I don't know. No, and actually that is okay. So he actually has a pretty big. You ready for work? All right. Have a good night, man. Thanks for tuning in. But yeah. Um, one day, I will get back to Gen Con. One day. Gen Con did look underwhelming, though. If I'm being honest with you guys, this year looked pretty underwhelming. That said, Would I have gone to Gen Con given the choice? Abso-freaking-lutely I would have. Gen Con is awesome. Why wouldn't I want to go to that? If I went to Gen Con, I'd be getting my Infinity stuff sooner than I am. Yeah, it seemed like, the guy, one of my friends that went, Chris, he's really into Infinity, and apparently it was a good Gen Con if you're an Infinity fan, because Carlos was there, and they gave a presentation at Gen Con, which is always good when they do it. What else do I need to do here on this guy? That's a lot of black. It's a lot of black, but pretty cool. I'm just glad this color scheme is working out the way I had intended it to. You know what I mean? You kind of, when you see models and you're like, I'm going to do this color scheme on them, and you kind of have it pictured one way in your mind, and it doesn't always come out that way. In fact, in my experience, it's always a little bit different. It's always just a little bit different when you actually paint it out and try to make it work for you. But this looks pretty much exactly how I imagine this team to look. Oh, thanks, Troy. I had half a mind to go pick up a sprue of pumpkins from the Reaper line to put on here, to really kind of punch up that Halloween theme. But I think this is good enough. I don't think I need to do anything too crazy. Congo, you're going to bed. Have a good one, man. Thanks for tuning in. Okay. Not entirely, like, everybody's looking pretty good. The one I'm not entirely sure of is Jackstraw. I feel like Jackstraw needs another color. So I think he needs more of a bone color, I think, on his chest. All right. How do you guys feel about this this YouTube live stream format? This is neither OBS nor XSplit. This is just me hitting the go live button on the YouTube interface. Do you guys think this is good? Would you rather me be on XSplit? I mean, it seems like, at least from a live video perspective, it seems like it does a better job of tracking, whereas XSplit would get kind of choppy. The only advantage to XSplit is that I could run my little logo for one, and then I can also we could also do multiple cameras, so I could do a face cam and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I never really did a YouTube face cam anyway, so it's not that big a deal to me. But you guys tell me, like, if you think if I should be using one of those other softwares for when I do YouTube streams, because I will continue to do YouTube streams. It's just a fact, right? Okay, not bad. All right, I do really quickly have to do some minor details. One of the not so minor details is I've got to do the skin on the feet. I need to retouch some skin here. Oh, and one sec, I'm gonna crunch a cookie here. So hang on one sec, guys. Okay. So I got a couple of these guys are rocking bare feet. And then there's just some like areas I need to retouch up skin that I may have painted over. So a little bit of feetsies shown there. And then I'll do bone over the wrap there. I also have to do all the little vegetables. Even stuff like Grange's hands need to be repainted. Okay. And then Tater has bad. I'm trying to train hard to have a Bruce Lee body. Nice. Nice. I would love to get some discipline into, staying in shape. I mean, I know mentally I could try to keep myself in some discipline mode, some sort of routine mode, and the evidence I cite for that is painting almost every night. You know what I mean? So if I have the discipline to paint nearly every night, then I have the discipline to to like work out all the time. What I got going against me, what's working against me is, not being able to really have that kind of freedom before or after work because of my family responsibilities and whatnot. But if I could figure out how to squeeze an extra, half hour in my evening routine every day, or my morning routine for that matter, to get up and exercise, that would be a good thing. I do the I get everything? Anybody else missing anything? I think we're good. Yeah, it's kind of hard to balance all of that. For sure it is, yeah. But would be cool if I could. Let's do let's get a purple that would work well like for radishes. I need like a purple and a green, do all the right. So this is just gonna be a giant radish there. And I just want that to go on pretty thin. Yeah, would love that, dude. Would love to get to be in good shape again. Not again. I mean, I've never really been in great shape most of my life, but I've been, in high school, I was way too skinny. And then right after high school, I don't know, like a combination of my metabolism slowing way the F down, and then my eating habits into college just becoming horrendous. Uh, those were all things that kind of played in together. So I gained a lot of weight. So out of college, I became big. Like I got really big at one point, like embarrassingly big. It's just kind of interesting to know Bruce Lee tenses his body for punches and kicks to deliver more power or being to hold a move. Interesting. Right. So I'm going to do the skin on the feet about as simply as you can, because I don't want to spend too much time on that. It's a thing we all go through, though. Yeah, for sure, man. I thought I was going to actually have more discipline this summer and be able to work out more. Like I did, the most I do is like I'll do like cardio, right? I'll have like I was doing like I was doing like 20 minutes of cardio every day, and that was making me feel really good. But then it's just funny, like you just fall out of habit all of a sudden, and it's hard to pick back up again. It's hard to find the time again. But you have the time. That's what I tell people with painting. It's like, oh, I don't have time to paint. I'm like, no, you do. You have time to paint. And I know I have time. I have time to exercise. If it's important enough to you, you have time for it. You'll find time for it. It's just fact, right? Cardio is good. Yeah, you know, I should probably do some weight training as well. Cardio is what I did because it's easy for me to do that. I have like trampoline here. My wife and I talked about, you know, 2 or 3 days a week after work, taking our kids to Big Air, with all the trampolines and like jumping, running around, jumping with them for a good hour or two if we have to. And I love that idea. We might go do that. That would be a nice thing. And then, you know, if we could fit it all in the schedule, I think we can. It's just a matter of holding each other accountable and doing it, you know. It's really important to have a partner to help you with places like areas where you struggle in discipline. I would say, let's say if painting was really your big thing and you're like, I want to paint, 3 nights a week or whatever. I want to paint. Um, I want to finish my army in time for such and such. I think if you had a partner, just like exercise, if you had a partner to keep you accountable for that, you'd have a much you'd have much better odds of actually completing your project. And that's part of what I'd like to do here is offer that as well and say, look, let's offer to if you're watching stream with me and you're working on projects, that hopefully, we can hold each other accountable to finish our projects, right? You guys can help me finish doing stuff like this, finishing my commissions, finishing like longer term projects, like for example, my Wrath King stuff. That's all good stuff. All right, so let's get. I also want like a yellow ochre type color for the chicken feet. I could do this medium gray. Would be kind of a good chicken feet color. Yeah, the one thing that bugs me about farmers is the sunken in eyes. They're just not they're not very good for painting. And Peck got some big old feet, man. Peck got some big old feet. Okay. Yeah, I did. I painted Peck more like a typical jungle fowl, not like a domesticated chicken. I'm glad you noticed that. That's what I was going for. I wanted him to. I didn't want him to look like a like Foghorn Leghorn, which is, don't get me wrong, that's always a cool classic look for a chicken, but I specifically was going for red jungle fowl. Um, it's actually kind of an homage to a project I worked on in college, where I worked on a colony of, I worked on a post hoc project, which was a colony of red jungle fowl. So I was like, oh, I have the chance to actually paint a chicken in Gill Ball. I might as well like throw out an homage to that because that's so super cool. But I'm just glad somebody noticed it. I think that's awesome. Man, we're doing pretty well here on our timing and whatnot. Things are looking pretty good. They're moving along fairly well. Um, eh. It's not bad. Yeah, painting them is a bit differently. It's always a good thing. So, let's see. I'm just painting vegetables. Pretty straightforward. Okay. And just do a little more orange. Highlight the carrot here. Whoop. It's nice to get a little added color in there. Okay. So now I want to wash. I want to do a wash for kind of a general wash for all the basing, and in fact some of the chickens. So I'm gonna mix some sepia ink with some black ink, and then mix that with the glaze medium, and that's gonna give us some of the ground cover. Oh, I forgot. I gotta paint. I gotta paint the cover too. Not the end of the world. Still in this phase of prepping everything. So I got all the colors I need to do this. And it's just it's just a little scatter terrain. So as long as it looks good from that 3-foot distance. I'm not trying to win painting awards for my veggies here. Just kind of throw in a few different colors there. It's pretty good. Okay. There, now that's starting to look a little bit of green on there. Makes the whole thing look more bountiful. Why not? Yeah. Then if I want to, I can even do just a little bit of an orange highlight here on the farmer's emblem on the crates. Should look pretty cool, right? Just watch a Rumble Slam preview video. Pinning rules are coming soon. Pinning. Oh, nice. Okay. With a new expansion that adds refs to the game. One is a normal dude till he gets hit, then he rages into a werewolf. That's awesome. I really like what they're doing with Rumble Slam. You know, that's definitely something that we're going to keep in the repertoire. And our LGS has all the Rumble Slams, so we're looking pretty good there. Okay. All right. So now we can go on and make the rest of our kind of generic wash over everything. Just sort of gives a richness to all of this. And I'm going to switch to the bigger brush for this. Yeah, our LGS, our Comic Quest is a great shop. They're always really supportive of, you know, of their gamers. They want to hear. They're attentive to what we like, what we wanted to play. The owners, I have a pretty strong working relationship with the owners, and they place a lot of trust in me. You know, when I tell them, like, here's what we're interested in playing. Here's what we like. They've always been very attentive to that, and it's like, and when I showed them Rumble Slam, they were very interested in that. It had a good theme, good buy-in point. Doesn't cost much to keep inventory on the shelf, so they were really down to bring it in, and they worked hard to do that too. You know, it took like a month to get that stuff in. Now, unfortunately, it didn't go flying off the shelves because we had some plans on how we were going to kind of formally introduce it to the store. They fell through, though. I mean, it's one of those cases where we were expecting a third party to promote the game more than me, and that third party kind of flaked on the whole thing, unfortunately. So then, you know, and I'm like promoting Guild Ball, I'm promoting other games for them, so it's like I can't pick up another game for them. You know what I mean? Uh, this is good. Let's give it a little bit of give the chicken there a little a little bit of shading. Okay. That said, I still want to push Rumble Slam in the local. I still want it to be a thing that more people get involved in playing. Because I think it's a great game. I agree with Troy. I think it should get a lot more press than it does. I thought, if anything, if we did get a Rumble Slam scene going, I thought we would actually be picking it up through the board game groups. Like, I thought the board game groups would warm to that type of game because it's super thematic. It doesn't use tape measures, and it's a very simple game in terms of the core mechanics, rolling the dice, just counting up your stars and whatnot. Not unlike Super Dungeon Explorer. So why the hell not? What did you think of Arena Rex? Hey, what's up, Anabolic? Welcome to the feed. Arena Rex is a fantastic game. Okay, I wish I had time to promote all these games. Arena Rex is a fantastic game, super fun, very fluid mechanics. It's if I'm gonna pick on, like, if I'm gonna talk negatives on Arena Rex, let me just say the one major negative that becomes apparent to people immediately is the price tag, right? Arena Rex is not a cheap game, and if I'm gonna pick on it, I'm gonna say, yeah, the miniatures they're expensive, and because they're super 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 high quality detail, that can be a problem, like modeling wise, because you when you're talking about individual feathers on the hat of like Hermes or Viatrix or that kind of stuff, you're talking about really really brittle spear, like pole arms. You're talking about really flimsy blades for swords and stuff. That's my knock on the game. That's what I'm going to call out and say, that's okay. That's a negative. And again, and I'm trying to, when I talk about stuff like that, I talk about games, I try to present the good and the bad, just so you guys are fully aware of my full take on it, right? So that said, Arena Rex is absolutely gorgeous game. It's one of the best looking games ever to hit the tabletop, right? I haven't seen a miniature line that looks so top to bottom good since Helldorado, and I would place it above Helldorado in terms of its aesthetic, in terms of just how good, like, the sculpts are just off the charts good. There's no denying that. They are off the charts good. And they're worth, like, they're an absolute joy to have a nice, beautiful painted set. But be aware, you are going to be spending a lot of money for not a lot of models. Usually, if I told you, okay, you should spend about $100 to get yourself a faction for Arena Rex, no one's really going to balk at that, right? Because that's kind of the going rate for just about any of these games. It's like, oh yeah, about $100 will get you your faction or your team or whatever. The issue with Arena Rex is that $100 is only like 4 models. Sometimes 3 models, depending on what faction you want to play. So just be warned, like, it's a great game. It really is. And it needs to, we had a local scene, people still bug me about, hey man, can we get Arena Rex back on the table? That's the one thing. That's probably, if I'm gonna bitch for a moment, that is one of the downsides to being me specifically. If I may use my own platform here to bitch a little bit, is that locally it's like whenever we need to get something back on the table, hey Octave, why don't we get this back on the table? Like, why is that my job? Why are all the other, like, the non-GW game, and I know I tout that about myself. Like, yeah, I love to play all the non-GW, non-privateer games, right? But it's a blessing and a curse, because it's like, hey Octave, why don't we get that back on? Stop it! Just, will somebody else pick up the banner and run with it? Luckily we had like Andrew, who picked up the banner on Wrath of Kings, which is awesome. um, Thought Matt was going to pick up the banner for Rumble Slam. That didn't happen, unfortunately. But it's true. It's like, hey Octave, we haven't played Batman in a while. Why don't you bring it back? And I'm like, dude, please. I'm already running the Guild Ball events and Paint Day and all this other stuff. Arena Rex model with the translucent effect shirt is insane. Oh yeah, Medusa. I don't have the skill to paint that model. Batman has my interest again to the Poison Ivy and King Shark. Yeah, King Shark is gonna make me come back to the table again with Batman. I gotta play my Sinister Six, or not Sinister, Secret Six. Sinister Six is Marvel. Should I do their hair in that brown color? It should look okay. It should be okay. But yeah. Lobo? Yeah, Lobo is pretty awesome. I love that there's so many good kind of indie third-party games to play. And I'm always bragging about that. But that is an issue, right? Because, I want to play 12 games. And I want to have a faction for like 12 games and be able to play 12 different games. And that's awesome in theory. But man, that's a lot of work. It's a lot of upkeep. I'm interested in Batman, but don't have the scenery for it and want a nice Gotham theme. Yeah, Nelson got really, when last year, this time last year, we were playing the shit out of Batman, right? We were playing Batman like twice, 3 times a week, like almost as often as we ended up playing Guild Ball this summer. The hotness last summer was absolutely Batman. And when we got into Batman, like, Nelson went nuts and he built a Gotham City table, and he really got into the terrain aspect of that game, which is fantastic. I mean, it's that game is built for hobby. It's built for the fans. It's built for people that want to really get in there and do that kind of stuff, like the labor of love type stuff, right? Batman's great for that. My knock on Batman is the games start to grind after a while. They start to feel grindy after a while because it's, you get your scenarios and those are fun, and you're parking on objectives and this and that, but it just doesn't have. It's a good game to play for some months, but then you will, if you're like us, you will grow cold on it if you're playing too much. And then with all of the different crews and the crew configurations, it's like those list building games kind of drive me crazy like that. They just, ugh. I really think King Shark would have better be more comparable to New. I actually haven't seen I haven't seen his stats, so I don't know what to say there. Okay, now here's the hard part. I need to come up with a farmer's color that looks correct. Like I need I need like a muddy orange or like a sienna. 8 wounds versus Killer Croc's 13. Wow, 13 is really impressive. Maybe it needs to be. Oh, it's not. So I need an orange type color, but not necessarily an orange, if you know what I mean. I think Parasite Brown would be best, not Beastie Brown. See if I can find my Parasite Brown. There's Parasite Brown. I think Parasite Brown is going to be perfect for this. New Killer Croc is awesome. That's great, dude. Okay. Let's see how we do here. Yeah, that's the right color for farmers. Okay, let's see how this looks. The new Killer Croc, the model is off the charts good. Ugh. Okay, this color kind of sucks in that I am going to have to do 2 coats, and that's okay. My Alchemist green sometimes takes 3 coats to cover. Yeah, this is the perfect farmer's color though, because it's brown, but it's definitely got an orangey brown to it. I probably should have done a. Yeah, it is. It actually does look a lot like a pumpkin orange. It's a pretty good brown. I actually use this brown for when I'm doing red hair, and it works great for that. You put this down, and then you wash with a brown or a sepia, and you got really good red hair. For those of you painting gingers. So you can see it's not covering. So we are going to do a couple of coats on all of these. Painting the soulless. Oh, I was going to ask, you know, if anybody had any more information on Malifaux 3rd edition from Gen Con. Was there anything, was there anything major spilled about it? Does anyone have any intel on that? I'd like to hear. Okay. I see one problem with it already. New cards are too tall for normal card sleeves. Ruh-roh. What's up with Malifaux always messing with their card sizes? I mean, I'm not complaining too much. Back when I played Malifaux, I had to buy a laminator just to laminate all those booklet cards. I also think charge is gone as there are no charge stats anymore, so it might be fixed number added to movement. Oh, okay. So it might be like a flat +2 or something to your movement if you're going to do a charge. I guess that's fine. Changes like that are, we can remain fairly neutral on. You don't know if they're really going to be a problem or not. Right? Like, what's the worst that can happen if they said that? Oh, well, charges are all just, +2 movement across the board. The only issue I would have with it is if they did what, like, Warhammer 40K 3rd edition would do, which is go, okay, everybody moves 6 inches exactly. That pissed me off to no end because it's like one of the major advantages. I used to play Eldar. One of the major advantages to playing Eldar 2nd edition is that the fact that humans had a base move of 5, dwarves had a base move of 4, orcs had a base movement 5, and Eldar had a base move of 6 and often. So you're like, you just stripped out a huge advantage we had on the ground by just saying, everybody moves 6. And then I believe they also went to standardized speeds for vehicles too. And it was like all vehicles move 12. And you're like, dude, you just killed the mobility faction by giving. And then they did Fleet of Foot in 4th edition, which was terrible. Like, oh, you get to roll a dice. So you'd have Gross charging, 12 inches, and you'd have Harlequins charging 7. Mine charged 7 because I roll like shit. I hope they remove all the Mac Martin from the game. That's funny. I couldn't even tell you what specific aspects were like Mac Martin aspects. I was mainly with Mac Martin. I was mainly more upset about, them doing major overhauls to the fluff and getting kind of turning the fluff writing into like a click type thing. And people were just retconning the shit out of the fluff, and it was really upsetting. Yep, definitely gonna need a second coat on all these. Ugh. I hate having to push that down so I can paint the base in. They're very, very Halloween-y looking now. This is like pumpkin spice, the Guild Ball team. Where people are gonna freak out. And clown my team for being pumpkin spice latte, the team. Because I already have a boba colored team. Difference is I actually like boba. I don't give a shit about pumpkin spice. I do feel that for Malifaux 3rd edition to be good, they need to be very soon after it's released to bring back the killed off masters. Oh, those masters died in the fluff? That's fine if they kill them in the fluff, but they got to keep rules for them in the game. You know, some of my favorite Guild Ball characters are dead, but they kept their rules. You can still play them. Died or got sealed away or something. Sealed away, that sounds like very 40k-ish. Didn't they seal away Eldrad for a while? I thought that was so stupid. Ooh, Eldrad disappeared. He was like, let me show you how to beat chaos. And then he touched the thing and then disappeared. I fell out of my chair laughing when I read that story. And all the 40k guys were so serious about that. Gosh, Eldrad might be gone. And I just laughed my ass off. I'm like, seriously, this is like 13-year-old kid shit. Why are you all freaked out about that? See, that's a shame. Like the Malifaux fluff back in the day, I really liked. And I still really love that steampunk Western setting. Seems like they took a lot of the Western out of Malifaux, and it just became more Gothic. And I had an issue with that. I didn't really like that. Wow, this color cannot hide for shit. Hopefully I can get this to hide in 2 coats. Man, that sucks because I was going to ask you, like, there anything interesting going on in the setting? When the M2E and they did all that, they put Perdita in the whole thing where, she's just communicating with Nephilim now, and then Sonya has a stupid Quiet Riot mask and all that other stuff. That was terrible. And especially that stupid Ramos story where he gets in a fight with Rasputina and then, has to kill his own dudes to get it, to save his own neck. And Joss is like crying like a little bitch to him in the beginning of the story. And I'm like, dude, that's Joss, man. Joss is a badass. Why is Joss like this whiny little bitch in this story? And why is Ramos like this like not smart, just sad like thing? And meanwhile, Rasputina was actually really cool in the 1.0 fluff because she was just deranged. She was just like crazy and like hopeless, right? You always thought she was just gonna die, especially like when Lilith tries to kill her as an act of mercy. You're like, man, that's kind of cool. And then, nah. And then M2E fluff comes out, and I like nearly picked up my M2E book and threw it out the window after reading that like just deeply, profoundly stupid story with Ramos. It was just embarrassingly bad. Would love to get back to painting it, though. I will say that. I've always loved painting Malifaux. It's always been a fun thing to do on this channel. I don't know. There's just something very familiar about painting Malifaux minis. Gosh, it doesn't even look like 2 coats are really gonna hide here. I love the cauliflower ball too. Working on an Arena Rex model. Cool. Still think the whole Avatar failure was the biggest letdown a second. I don't disagree with you. Avatars were fun, man. The manifest requirements, not saying the manifest requirements were totally balanced, but it was fun. I even liked Avatar Colette, which I felt was a massive downgrade, but it's still fun to break it out. Avatar Ramos was ridiculously good. Avatar Raspy was cool, like towards Endgame. And then we used to even play like, Spider Legs Ramos was amazing. His mechanics even got super fun when that happened. But the avatars were pretty fun. trying to think, what other avatars did I really like to run? Avatar Seamus had that super awesome model. But see, here's the thing. Not all the avatars were like Ramos, where it was like, oh, you want to take that most of the time, right? You want to take Avatar Ramos most of the time. The manifest requirements were very simple, and then his mechanics once he manifest were really, really strong and convenient. But not all of them were like that. A lot of them were like, you want to. There were times when you wanted them out, and there are times where you didn't. And like I was saying, Avatar Colette was terrible. Avatar Karai was terrible. Most of the book 2 avatars were terrible because book 2 masters were too strong for a while. We even played Avatar Marcus because that shit is super hilarious. That was one of the yeah, you're talking about, that was one of the most hilarious looking models was Avatar Marcus. If I look hard enough in this room, I probably have an Avatar Marcus in here somewhere. Avatar Sonya was really strong. I remember that too. And I liked the McMorning avatar because it was just Simulacrum 29. Right? You still ran around with Marcus on the board. I mean, not Marcus, McMorning. We still ran around with McMorning on the board, but now you had Simulacrum 29. You modded your avatar Marcus. I use a second sculpt upper body in the avatar. That's cool. Yeah, the alt metal sculpts were amazing. I loved all of them. Well, I didn't like the Lady J one as much as I loved the original Lady J pose. But for the most part, they were all better, in my opinion. The alt sculpt Raspy was freaking awesome. And the alt sculpt Ramos, I still have a bunch of those here. Second Marcus is still the best mark. Yeah. I'd painted my original Marcus. I still have a Marcus crew box in here somewhere. But I had painted him to look like Jareth from Labyrinth. So I painted his like riding pants. So he'd be like David Bowie, Jareth from Labyrinth. That was hilarious. Yeah, this is just not hiding. Anyways, let's just drop the second coat on. Kind of wild. They look pretty good. Just gonna do a third coat. Just get them all. It's annoying that I have to do 3 coats, but as long as it looks cool. The color is awesome though. It's a nice color. Oh, messed that up. It's okay. Yeah, that's gonna bug me. How do you do the metallic gold again? Oh, I start with a brown, and then yeah, you highlight to yellow ochre, and then and yeah, highlight all the way up to like highlight all the way up to like a sand color, and then you can also you can shade it down, like use a sepia ink to shade it down. And you know, you're mainly just trying to force that super contrast there. I'm just touching this up. So there you go. Yeah. Let me know if you're having any other issues or questions. Yep. It's a Halloween team, people. As long as it looks cool. It'll look the orange is going to look pretty striking on the board altogether. All right. This may be my favorite part of the team. Getting to paint a cauliflower as the ball. On the pumpkin, the standard pumpkin ball, also awesome. Almost done. Just doing third coat on the base lip. You know, the funny thing is, by the time I get to play this Thursday, my faithful stuff will have shown up, and I'll probably have time to paint vet calculus. So by the time Thursday actually shows up, I may not even play these guys. Okay. And last, which is perfect because it's just about midnight, and I got to get up in less than 5 hours and make it through another Monday. All right, so okay, pretty happy with these. It should look pretty good on the board. Like I said, that orange turned out the way I hoped it would. Yeah. Good night, Troy. Thanks for tuning in, dude. All right. So let's close it up, man, and then I'll give you guys one final look at this farmer's team. But they're all, for all intents and purposes, they're done. You know, there may be some little bits here and there that I need to go back and clean up, and then obviously I need to seal them. Sealing them will give them a little bit of a sheen when they're done, but you know, overall pretty cool. I mean, they should look fun on the board. Gotta love Peck here. And you got Jackstraw. Fun. Again, really, really simple color schemes. Here's the Captain Grange. And then you got Harrow. Bushel, real simple model. You got Mr. Handsome Tater. This is the Ellie Tater. So he's a metal model. And then finally you have Wendell. It's a cool miniature there. And then just some accessories. The standard pumpkin ball. And the limited cauliflower ball. Also really neat. Thanks, Blade Wolf. Here's the obstacle as well. All right. So with that, we're going to call this video to a close. Want to thank everyone for watching. Have a good night, guys. And yeah, hey, if you want to see more paint streaming and you're watching this on record, I would recommend heading over to Twitch and following me on Twitch. That's at Play It Painted on Twitch. I'm normally on like 9:30, 10 p.m. Pacific time, and almost every night, usually like 3 to 4 streams a week on Twitch. That's good. Once again, that's going to do it for this video. Want to thank everyone for watching. Oh man, DMPG just hopped on, dude. I'm going to bed, man. I'm sorry, man. We finished. We're going to go to bed. but you can watch it on playback. Anyway, have a good night, everybody. All right, we'll catch you on the next one.